Welcome to the final part of Sitting Ducks. This time we can play in all of the game by, well, getting the flyers essentially. That's all we have left really. So let's go straight into story mode and just take care of all the flyers. We're starting off from factory all the way back up to where the bikes are sold essentially. I believe east side or whatever. So right now I'm gonna go ahead and just get my hat on. Get my bike on, some weird sound effects going on. That car is going flipping out over there for a second, and yeah, go to the factory down there and begin. Now the factory never actually explored properly. We came here for like a few missions, but we didn't really like check the place out for the most part. This place got entirely untouched, really. So let's go look around and get some flyers from here, shall we? And, yeah, it's pretty simple, honestly, to deal with. I mean, there's a whole bunch of area that doesn't have anything to it. It's just, like, fenced off. And also, factory is also interesting for having the lowest air time for any plane. Like, we can go, like, this far up, but that's about it. We cannot go high up at all in factory. I believe we can go high in every other level except this one. And heck, the highest we can go is in park, so yeah, this is kind of pathetic. So unfortunately, we will have to go ahead and go through all this on foot, which makes this pretty long enough, honestly. So first of all, around here on this bend, inside this little alleyway here is one of the flyers. And by the way, I have to go find 100 of these, so yeah. Next up is number 10, which is right over here in the corner. I'm gonna get on my skateboard and get over there that faster. So yeah, there's been a lot of jumping, a lot of running around, a lot of using our scooters and such to get shit. The park, for instance, we're using our fucking plane to get that shit, so yeah, it's got a lot of exploration. But the main exploration we're dealing with right now is just checking out the factory, really. It's the only area in the game we haven't really done any proper looking around in. Like we kind of did with Swampwood, even though not really. But, yeah, factory, like, nothing, really. Like, nothing at all. Outside of the fucking one area we can't even go to outside of that one mission, the factory was just untouched entirely, so for the most part, it's a small little area. Has a bunch of rooftop shit to it, and, yeah, it's just kind of meh. It, honestly, it's just, yeah, it's nothing here, really. The main thing, though, is that it is where a lot of flyers are, and it is honestly too fucking big for its own good. Like, it's so much nothing, and yet it's so huge. Like, you have to get all the way up those fucking stairs, which are pretty big, honestly, in order for you to, get up to here. And then you have a whole bunch of, like, hallways to go through, essentially, and then you got the spiral here. This spiral fucking, like, board here that goes up with more stairs. It's just, there's so much to, like, climb up from that's so big in a sense, but at the same time, it's too big. Like, there really is nothing here. It shows this big, giant, like, pin, your fucking bowling ball pin here you can look at, which is kind of interesting, but yeah, it's just kind of nothing. And also, if you take too long to make the flying happen, you won't be able to fly at all from a double jump, so yeah. Alright, let's just do some jump cutting now, because we got a lot of jump cutting for me to go and get these flyers on. Here's number 13 right over there. Now as for number 14, which will be right over to that jump over there to my left, I have to jump down for it. Have to angle myself correctly for it, and, you know, just make sure I get it. Now, if you land on there instead of sliding down, you can actually recover yourself and get back up without having to go all the way around to get back up. What I have to do is be careful up on the wire, do a few jumps like so, and glide up there and you're done. There you go, you can't get back up from that. Okay, make a big fucking jump and glide over to here. And then fall the way down and climb back up all over again. Fun. Now, behind this wall here are some boxes. On the boxes here, you'll be able to get up to a roof here, which allows you to get to this flyer. Number 16. And as for number 17, you have to go downwards under this fucking, thing here. I forgot the name of it, honestly. But yeah, right on this part with all these things, there's a leaflet on the corner. And there's on some boxes another leaflet right by Spotlight. And as for the other flyers, they're just around the grass. Just use your bike, your cross country, and go ahead and get them. There's like 3 of them around here outside the factory. And the last one beginning right now in the factory area happens to be right by the entrance to the factory, which leads back to Swampwood. So, yeah, not that many, honestly. But once we have all of these, then we could just leave this fucking area for good and continue on to Swampwood, which then we can get rid of this area as well. Seriously, once you have the shop cleared out, there's no point to ever being here anymore. So, yeah, here we go to Swampwood. Alright, so what's Swampwood got for us? Well, we have that restaurant area, so let's go ahead and climb up to the roof of that. Snappy's here in order to, get a flyer there. And yes, Colonel Snappy is a reference, a joke to KFC. And over here, hey, it's right next to a graphic, is another flyer right by a mailbox. So there's the location if you want to know that. Over here is like a hallway area, a whole bunch of pointless fucking alleyways and such. But over to this side, there is a flyer by a giant wall. So, yeah, that's 25 flyers now out of 100. We're 1/4 of the way done. Over on this hallway and fucking alleyway over here, on top of a mailbox this time is another flyer. Number 26. I'll be, continuing one from there. In which over across back this way, there's the location, by the way, in case you want to know. Over here, over by where the shop is, in fact, I believe this is the bank. There's one right by here, right at the back of the bank. So, yeah, grab that. After that, you want to go ahead and just get the flyer over by, I believe, a stand where they sell, like, burgers, duck burgers. It's just right behind the sign. After you got that, across from there, like right by some hanging ducks, I didn't even want to see that, honestly. There's another flyer by an alleyway. Yeah, don't worry, they're all hung. Good imagery, huh? Anyway, right next to that happens to be another flyer by our corner here. And also it's a bowling alley area, but you don't have to be anywhere near the bowling area. There's no point to it. In fact, the last flyer for Swampwood happens to be by the entrance or exit to the park. So we're done here with Swampwood now. Yeah, not much of Swampwood or the factory. The rest is going to be the park and such, which the park has a fuck ton of flyers. Like one right here by the races of the cross country. And as for the rest of these, we're gonna need the plane for them because they're up on trees and shit. The best way of doing this is to get up on here and then use the plane from there. This will give you the highest height out of anything in this game to get this shit. Unfortunately, you will be pushed down a little bit from there, but for the most part, you will essentially get enough height to get at least that one at a very high spot. The rest of these, you should be able to reach normally from going as high as possible without falling down and all that shit from there. Like there's a statue here, a duck statue. On top of it is another flyer. Go ahead and grab that. Now, after you've gone that, inside this tunnel here is a flyer at the very roof of the fucking tunnel. Be careful, get your speed, get your height, and then get that flyer. Bit of a pain to get that one. Once you got it. After that, there's a tree over here by the lake. Just go ahead and, grab it. Or the river, really. After you got that one, close to that area will be another leaflet. It'll just be on this tree instead. You will grab that even if you don't think you got that at all. It's weird. After that, there is one on a palm tree here, which we're getting as well. I missed that somehow. Again, the hitbox on these flyers is weird. But, yay, once you got that, you got it. Now, there is one issue with this map, and that issue happens to be this spot here. You see that sand pit there? Well, considering that all the flyers are like yellow dots, this sand pit looks like a yellow dot. It's not. There are no flyers around the sand pit area. Just ignore this fucking dot and get the rest of them. The very fact they even fucking did that to you in this game is a real dick move, and it fucked me for years, honestly. Anyway, in the middle of the fucking pond here is not a flyer, not a leaflet up on a tree. It's like this little island in the middle. There's not a leaflet right there on that jump. Next up, right on the island at the bottom of the sand area is another leaflet. Just look for it and you'll find it. After you got that one, up on a tree over here is another leaflet. And right next to that, on the sand, is another leaflet. 45 leaflets. Yeah, we got a lot more than we did with Factory and Swampwood combined. And hey, another leaflet right over here, right by a waterfall. 46, as everybody's just running into me and shit like idiots. And right across from me, as I get past the crowd of assholes, under the broken bridge, or right next to it at least, happens to be another flyer. And yes, this can handle the water, as you will see. See? Just have to get under here well and, you know, get the turning correct, and we'll get that no problem. There you go. And now we have 47 flyers, and now I can, you know, avoid using the plane. That's the most you'll be using the plane for, by the way, for getting those flyers. After that, we now have Duckville, essentially, the west, central, and east area. So I'm going to go ahead and just go right to the west area, shall we? And over at the west area, there are the shops here, like the ice cream shop. Now, they want you to use the plane to get to them, but you can just get on the rooftops here, on these little balcony things, and, or banisters, and just jump up from there and get them. And hey, the Flight Channel banner is up there, by the way. Nice little reference to an episode. And, hey, over across from here is another rooftop. This one's easy, just use the stairs. They're small stairs, but they give you enough space to, you know, enough height to get up on that rooftop. There you go, 49. After you got that one, move on forward over back to this spot for the halfway point 50. So we are now half and half on flyers. And up here, over at one of the tennis matches here, get up on the umpire seat and you get another flyer. A leaflet, I mean, but I'm going to call them flyers anyway, because I can. Anyway, over here in this area, having number 52, I'll show the map so you can see what this area is. There you go. Across from here is not a leaflet, but you might be thinking, is it this way? Because the maps aren't too helpful in knowing where they are. No, it's not this way. Even though there are like a bunch of wolves to my left here for no good reason, really, they didn't put anything on these, so yeah, no point being here. Instead, it's on the right side, right by this wall instead. And once you got that one, then you can move on forward to going to your left, and then find out that in this alleyway, up on this fucking banister here, balcony, is another leaflet. And hey, right behind this wall is another fucking leaflet right by some chairs. Simple as. Across from me, over this fucking fence here is not a leaflet. It's just in this garden here. I just hit a tree instead of knowing where I'm going because the tree's getting in the way. And there you go, 56. And just across from here, as I go forward from here, to my left will be another leaflet. It'll be to my left, right on this wall. And from there on out, we'll then continue on forward to going to this area where there is a fucking nice little place to swim, honestly. And there's a leaflet right in the middle of it. So go ahead, jump in the pool, and get your leaflet. After you got that one, it's the ice rink. Just jump for it. Easy enough, double jump for it. There you go. Yeah, that's the area of the ice rink. No point to it. The AI hates it as well. Moving on from there, we're going to go ahead and use our plane to get this one up on this wall at the gas station. Once you got that, then we can go ahead and go backwards up onto the hospital sign here in order to get up to the rooftop to get this leaflet up here. Pretty simple stuff, honestly. And hey, remember the fucking, you know, this area where you can all swim and shit? This nice little pool? Well, over on here, there happens to be another leaflet we can go ahead and grab. But there's also, you know, another place for you to play ball. And also to glitch the ball through this area and have the ball get really weird and shit, because the ball acts very fucking weird on the water area. But yeah, there's another point for you to get some more feathers you need it. Which you don't really. I mean, yeah, these can be useful for getting you some more feathers, but overall, like, look how many feathers I have right now. You don't even need the extra fucking effort. Like, just get the missions done. You'll have enough anyway. And hey, another leaflet. Just use this, you know, this umbrella here to get over to, and you're good to go. And that's it for this area. Really, nothing else to really show outside of this thing. So, yeah. Over here, there happens to be another leaflet. Just, go to your right, and there it is, right by some chairs. Afterwards, you want to go ahead and, yeah, just go over to the school. And up on this roof here is number 64. And here comes the kids, being assholes. See? Anyway, we are now over at Central, which there's going to be another leaflet right by an exit over here. After you got that one, switch over to the Central area map because it shows the same thing. Up on the cinema roof here, you'll find another one. And right over to the back area, like the right side of the cinema, you will find another flyer just sitting there. Just right by the trash, honestly. Well, actually, right by the mailbox. After you got that one, go ahead and go over to this area where you had to do like a nice little racing or whatever. And you'll find a flyer right behind a door. You'll get stuck by the door and then move on forward where you'll find another flyer right by this wall here up onto this rooftop. It's right by the gas station, by the way. Enjoy the 69. Savor that 69 number that you've gotten right now, because you are about to ruin it as you will go and get leaflet 70 by going over this wall, going to your right, and then getting up onto the balcony here to get your 7th fucking flyer. We now have only 30 left to get, and yes, you can get it by having your head touch it, by having your head phase through the thing. It's weird. Anyway, another flyer right by this wall here, the green wall. There you go. It's in this location right over here. See? And across from here happens to be another flyer. Just use this wall here and then double jump up to get that. And there you go. 72. Once you have that one, jump cut over to here and you will find yourself another roof. Go ahead and get that from there. And then, yeah, right next to this hallway here on the other side happens to be another flyer. Just use this trash can here to grab it. And once you have that one, move on forward, and eventually you'll see you're right back at your hotel. Just across from there is another flyer on a balcony. Go ahead and grab that. Just, you know, use this trick of using the stairs here in order to then jump off from it in order to grab it. Or you can just use the trash can here and do that instead. Then you can jump over this wall here and get another flyer by dropping down from there. Or just double jumping for that, honestly. After you got that one, go ahead and just use the railing here to go up to the rooftop of the hotel here in order to grab that leaflet. We're now the fourth way there. And remember this one right over here? Go ahead and grab that as well. Double jump forward. There you go. Easy as shit. Moving on from there, go ahead over to the store where there is the ice cream parlor from here. Get up on the rooftop by using the banister from here. And there you go. 79. And yes, you can get on the rooftop of the shop as well. There's no point of doing that, but you can do it. Afterwards, across from here happens to be another leaflet. Just go over this way to the left. And yes, a whole bunch of roofs and shit. No point going over to them because you can't get on top of them because, you know, invisible walls. But hey, there's another one. And we now have 80. Only 20 left. We're nearly done with all of them. Notice how much time has been spent on this part so far. Yeah, like, this takes a while. Imagine how much time I cut out, by the way. There's another one right over here by the corner. You might have seen it during the ice cream going throughs. And now what we have left is East area. Which as you can see, the map kind of cuts the bit of East area and Central area a bit. So, yeah. Over on the East area, over on this, you know, alleyway here is number 82. And across from the store here where the scooters are, get on the bench and then get over and grab this one by touching it. And also there's this area over here of a whole bunch of bullshit that has no purpose. Ignore it. Anyway, moving on from there, go on forward and use your plane to get this one up on the tree here. Bit awkward, once you got it. Don't worry, the plane ship will be almost over soon. Up on here on this thing happens to be another flyer. Go ahead and grab it. I don't know what this is. I really don't know what this area is. Afterwards, there's a trick here. Just remember to do this, where you just use that stairs to jump and then get up on the rooftop, and there you go. It's a bit glitchy, but there you go. That's how I got the leaflet. That's how you'll get the leaflet too. Or you can use a plane, but just do that instead. Behind these boxes, by the way, is another leaflet. There you go. Inside the repair store over here in front of me will be another leaflet. Just go around over to here. Be careful not to get stuck on the gap. And, you know, there you go, 88. Now, once you have this, you will then go right and use our flying ability to grab this flyer here. And I believe this is the last time we are ever going to use the plane. So there you go. Now, across from here happens to be another leaflet, just in an alleyway, and that happens to be number 90, so only 10 remain. And now I'm going to show you the warehouse, because the warehouse has a lot to it, and I'm just going to go ahead and show the entirety of the warehouse, because it's just pretty much a bunch of platforming up on top of boxes. Just go ahead, see what I'm doing here, and you'll know where they are. There's number 91 right there. They're all very samey, honestly, so I don't really have much of a choice except to show you the whole thing. There's number 92 right there, and by the way, you might be wondering how to get to number 93 over there. Well, behind these boxes here happens to be an entryway to a warehouse area, and it's the only way in that warehouse area. There is no other way in here, nor is there an exit out of here outside of going back the way you came. There's the flyer. There is no point to this area being here except for this flyer. You can leave now. That's the warehouse. Wasn't that a fun time in the warehouse, guys? Anyway, jump cut, as we are now going to get this flyer over here by using the bench here to grab it. Or I can just go ahead and make some weird shit happen instead. I'm going to use the bench instead. After you got that, you might notice that over here is a building. It's this weird little building here. There is a way of getting up on the rooftop of it. All you have to do is go around this side, get up onto this sort of like weird square area here, this one. And then once you're up on here, get up on the roof, there you go. Then there's like some bushes here for some weird reason. And hey, a flyer. 95. Nearly done now. All that's left now for me to do is jump cut over to this nice little pull here, 96. And then once you have that, over on this weird fencing, there's like an L corner here. There's a fucking flyer on the crate in here. Go ahead and grab that. Then get the fuck out of there. Then you'll be right next to the gas station. Over on the gas station, go up on top of the roof of the gas station by using the trash cans here. Once you're on the top of the roof, go ahead and just jump across, get this flyer over here where the gas is. I have a name of it, the fuel nozzle area. Once you have that shit, go ahead over to where there are two boxes by some grass, then climb up here, and there you go, 99. And lastly, the last flyer just so happens to be the fucking train station. We are now going to leave. Even though all of the holes here happen to be fucking Wile E. Coyote holes, because they are fake. They're just painted on. But you know what else not painted on? You know what's not fake? This flyer. Right here. 100, baby. We now have every flyer in the game. Every single leaflet. And now, we also have an objective in Central area. It's green instead of fucking orange or whatever it was beforehand. Let's go over to it, shall we? And by the way, if you save right now, you will find your progress went from 90% within 16 hours to 17 hours, 100%. We are done. Let's end it, baby.
Bev, Madame Bavouski. Oh, yes, of course. Madame Bavuski.
So, have you done it?
Well, those nasty alligators hid them in all kinds of sneaky places. But yes, I managed to find every one of them.
You have done a great deed for Ducktown, Bill. That's fantastic.
I just did what any good duck would do. I'm happy that I got to meet you, Aldo.
Yeah, me too. It's not every day that a duck and an alligator get to be friends.
Yeah, it is kind of weird.
After all, we are on the opposite ends of the food chain.
In a way, that's what makes our friendship so special, Aldo. Despite our differences, we worked together to save Waddle from the bowling ball factory and live to tell the story.
It's true. And at the same time, in some ways, we're not so different.
We're not?
Well, for example, ducks and alligators both hatch out of eggs.
And we're both natural-born swimmers.
And runners.
And that's it. That's the main game. So with that out of the way, all we have left is the multiplayer and this bonus thing that happened to pop up once we did all the side missions. What is the bonus? Well, I'll let you watch it for yourself right now. Yep. All it was a teaser for literally the show. Which you should watch. It's up on YouTube, I believe. By the way, multiplayer. Race, Egg Hunt, Stage Race, and Star. Race is just the race. I don't have to show that. The Egg Hunt, though, I can show. It's at the park, the hotel, the tennis court, and the pond. And we can also play as any of the characters you have unlocked for it, by the way. Which I'm going to go ahead and show you the characters, because might as well. Doing the tennis court. Here's Bill. Aldo is here. Bev. Waddle. Ed. Oli. Fred. Florist. Grocer. Drill. Nurse. Cecil. Claire. Teacher. Snappy. And that's it. And also all of the stuff we've got for vehicles, except for like a small handful that we can't use here in this thing. So, I'm gonna go ahead and just begin the multiplayer stuff. So, yeah, this first one, Egg Hunt. All you have to do is grab the egg, which has to be spawned randomly, and it's a golden egg, by the way, and then just take it back to your, your starting point, and that's it. Your friend here will have to verse you in basically trying to grab the egg from you and taking it back to their base. And, yeah, as you can see, I have Aldo on a skateboard. You can have the alligators on their skateboards. In fact, you have the penguin, fucking Fred, on the skateboard as well, or on a bike or whatever. So, yeah, they don't have to actually be on foot or in, hey, how's it going? You don't have to have them be on foot or on, Fred's case, on ice skates. They can be on any vehicle in multiplayer. And they have their own unique animations, too, and such. It's kind of cool, honestly. But, yeah. About a few of them are kind of generic characters, even though they could have added in the race car, dealer and all of that crap. But hey, we got the egg, and this is the entire multiplayer race here. There you go. That's how it works. I'm gonna go ahead and just show off Aldo a little bit, and yeah, as you can see, it's randomized every time. And so is your starting position, too. But, yeah. I'm gonna be Aldo for a bit because I'm gonna show off that even though the animations are different, it does look different and all, and Aldo does have some unique stuff to him with all of it, it does act the same as Planet Build and such, so not that much of a big deal, honestly. And also, I believe the draw distance is a lot bigger now. Like, a lot more, like, you know, closed in on you compared to beforehand, because they really, like, slowed that down, didn't they? There's a lot of blue in the background. And this is a stage race now. Racing is essentially no different to what you saw beforehand, normal races. And now I'm going to be Snappy here, and here's Fred on a skateboard. Because why not? As you can see, he's got some unique animations to himself a little bit too, and yeah, it's pretty much the same shit, honestly. But yeah, racing is pretty much the same as what you expect of racing. It's a lap race sort of deal. However, stage race is essentially like Claire's shit. There's a whole bunch of waypoints, and all we gotta do is just get to the waypoints. They're called doors for some reason, but yeah, there are 10 waypoints, and all we gotta do is get to them, and that's it. Now, the biggest issue is that nothing about these waypoints are really good. They're all over the place, and they're just very messy lines and shit. And they're not fun to deal with. But yeah, it's just like a sprint race, honestly. Nothing else to really show of it. It's just this. And yes, you have to go inside that warehouse area to get to this one, and then leave from the same way you came. It's just a fucking train wreck. It's like Raul fucking gave you his little paths, you know, his little waypoints to fuck with you. Anyway, this is pretty much the entirety of Stage Race, and I will show off the entirety of Stage Race. And yes, everybody has their own crashing animations too. I mean, the ducks all crash the same exact way. It's just, you know, Fred here has his own crash, and I believe Aldo and, I forgot his fucking name already. This guy have their own crashes as well, which I believe is just holding their fucking face, essentially. But yeah, that's about the gist of it, really. So, what about the last one, the star one? Well, I mean, you're kind of getting the gist of things right now, that all multiplayer really is two kinds of racing, and yes, two kinds of collecting something, and then having to do a fucking grabbing back sort of deal with it, you know? A fight to see who can grab the item and keep it. But in the one case of the egg, it's to get it back to your base. The star's a different story, but they're both item related. And yes, you have to do this shit in order to get this waypoint. So in case you start off a scooter, you gotta get off your scooter now. Meanwhile, skateboarders get to do this shit. I mean, yeah, the scooter is faster, but there is an advantage to using the skateboard. Especially when the waypoint happens to be that kind of bullshit. But, yeah. It's just kind of a boring race, honestly. I mean, a lot of the races in this game were kind of boring. The races in this game were not really the most fun part of the game, even though the game really wanted you to think, hey, these scooter races are so much fun. And yeah, as you can see, the exit's right there for me. But, yeah, Snappy, Colonel Snappy, that's his name. He'll have to go ahead and go through all the same waypoints himself, and, unfortunately, he's getting fucked. Because I'm just gonna let Fred just slowly fucking wheel himself over. And there you go. I didn't even get that close to it, but getting close enough is enough. And here's the star one, by the way. And all star is, by the way, Bev and Waddle. Waddle is just going to lose his shit because, remember, he can't drive a fucking scooter. He's really bad at driving scooters. You know, he panics, he sucks at it, He's just going all over the place. He can't control it. He's on the grass. He's sliding all about. He's super fucking slow still. The bar looks smaller, but really it's the same exact bar as always. But you know what? Even though he really sucks at driving this thing, he will get the star. And the thing is, the way the star thing works, is you have to hold it for 90 seconds, which is a minute and 30. Now here's the thing, unfortunately, our buddy Waddle here really sucks, and he can't even do a jump. So unfortunately he's given up. Which means Bev here can then just go ahead with Raul, fly all the way over to him, and just steal that star right off his head. And you know what the best part about doing this sort of shit here in the park is? If you just go in the ocean, as I'm about to do, and the other person is using a scooter, they have to get off the scooter and then swim over to you, essentially, to get to you. So yeah. And by the way, I'm not even holding the button now, but Raul still goes fairly speedy without me having to hold anything or press anything really. And yeah, Bev's gonna win at this point. There's no question that Bev's gonna win this, because Waddle is just gonna drive his fucking scooter into the ocean like the idiot he is, and unfortunately lose the scooter entirely. And yeah, that's the multiplayer mode. That's the multiplayer in general. And with that, after 40 minutes of this part, we're done. We are done sitting ducks, and we can now go ahead and see the credits of the game. So, I'm gonna let Waddle here drown, unfortunately. No, I'm not gonna let him drown. I'm just gonna let him just be in this island here for the rest of his life, and just be a castaway, essentially. And that's it. So, yeah. So what did I think of Sitting Ducks? Well, it was a childhood game for me, but I will say it has not held up. I mean, it's not bad. It's not a bad game. It has its moments of actually being decent. But it does become padding, it does become boring, and it does become quite a pain to deal with for some of the cases of, like, the fucking side missions and getting the golds for them. You know, there's a lot of bullshit to it. But for the most part, I enjoyed playing it, and it was a nice 10-parter, honestly. Nothing too big, nothing too bullshit, honestly. But, yeah, that happens to be it. So, what am I gonna do next time? Well, I had you guys on Twitter vote for what I'll be doing next time. So whatever game won that poll of 4 games will be my next game to deal with. So, thank you for watching, and I will see you all next time for that game. But for now, that's the Sitting Ducks. See ya.